Hey, YouTube. I'm Arwen, the professional joy seeker, professional tarot consultant, and published author. Today, I want to talk to you about professional tips on how to read at festivals, fairs, parties, gigs. I've been reading since 1985 professionally, and I've done a lot of gigs. I've done a lot of parties, I've done a lot of corporate events, that sort of thing. And there's a way to do them where you don't end up like this at the end of the day. So, I want to offer to you my top 10 suggestions. A couple of these are hard and fast for me, man. I do not vary from them. Okay, all of them are. But the first couple are things we don't think about. Okay, and that's self care. So, the very first thing any reader needs to remember when doing any kind of event is hydrate. Do not depend on the festival folk to keep you hydrated. Some of them are very good about it. They have volunteers that wander around making sure everybody has water if they need it. But often, volunteers don't show up, they flake out. The festival owners have to go put out fires somewhere else, and they can't do that. They can't be your well service. So you have to do that for yourself. And I recommend a bottle for every hour or so. So if you're going to be there for 8 hours, I would pack in 6 to 8 bottles. Yeah, it's a lot of water, but you're going to need it. The other thing is eat. Bring yourself high energy, easy to eat food that's not messy because you don't want to have to take time to wipe your hands down or whatever and go back to your cards. So things like, I make little snack bags and I'll put pistachios, almonds, and cranberries in them. And they're high energy. They keep me going. Sometimes I don't get a lunch break or a dinner break because of how I'm moving. And that's personal choice generally. Also, the other thing is rest. Now, yeah, rest before the event, but rest during the event. Give yourself breaks. And by that, I mean, have a sign up sheet. We're going to come to that next. And for an hour, make sure you schedule yourself a 5 to 10 minute break. One, you're going to be drinking and eating, so you're going to need that break. And two, it's a good way to recharge, and be firm about it. Don't say, oh yeah, you can come on in. Say no, I'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes, and I would love to read for you. Put your name down. And that comes to the gather step. This is four. Gather. Put out a notebook for signups. Don't just have people standing in a line at your table. It can be very overwhelming to look up when you're reading from somebody and see 10 people deep. Oh, I gotta read faster. You don't want to do that to the client in front of you. You know, have a sign up sheet that says name, email, and time of reading. And if you start at 9 a.m., you have a 9 a.m., a 9:10, a 9:20, a 9:30, a 9:40, and then you don't have anything after that, right? So you've got 9, 9:10, 9:20, 9:30, 9:40, 50 minutes, and a 10-minute break. And people will respect you for having that kind of organization. You do want to ask for their email, and we're going to get to that why later. The spread, it's really important. A lot of readers go into these festival situations and they want to do a full Celtic cross, full 10 card layout. Guys, that's a long reading. If you're trying to the reason for going to the festival, right? What is that reason? Generally, it's to get your name out there, to let people know you're out there, right? Make a little cash if you can, but to get your name out. So you want to do short spreads. I recommend 3 card spreads. No more, no less. Some people only do 1 card. You know, 3 cards is really, really simple. You can do them fairly fast. Practice with your friends, and do 3 card readings. Learn to read what I call down and dirty. And that's lay a card Empress. That's about creativity and fertility. You've got something growing. You're going to give birth to something. If you watch my teroscopes, those are generally anywhere from 4 to 5 minutes long. And I'm reading 4 cards. So you can narrow it down. You can give a good reading. It's short. And you want to tell people that these are mini readings. Be very clear that that's a mini reading so that they know if they want a more in-depth reading, they can come to you again. So that was 5. 6, inform. Put out a sign that says 3 card readings, 10-minute time slots, and if you know how much they are. If you're doing a tip or donation jar, put down, suggested, $3 to $10 tip, whatever you're comfortable with. And don't undersell yourself. Okay, you are worth at least $1 a card. Hear me out. Okay, you are worth at least $1 a card. I do not do tarot readings as a magical offering because I charge for them. I don't do free readings, except y'all know I do some free readings, but this is really the only place I'm doing free readings. So be really clear. Have a sheet. Don't make it all fussy. Don't make it super super small or whatever. Make it really clear. 3 things. I do tarot readings. These are 3 cards for 10 minutes. Here's how much it costs. And your name and address, or your name and phone number, your name and email, whatever at the bottom. If you have a personal cell phone, don't use your personal cell phone, guys. Personal experience here. Don't do it. 7, firm. Don't barter or discount your readings. This is your work, your calling, your energy. Get paid for it. Okay, don't undersell yourself. We come right back to that. Do not give yourself away. You are worth $1 a card at least. I have to harp on that with some people. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. 8, fun. Have fun. Remember that there will always be those who want a reading to prove you wrong. They're going to happen. Sit down and they're like, read me. You can read them. Go ahead. And if they still say, well, that's just, anybody could have read that, say, thank you for your time. And if they offer you money, don't accept it. I don't want their energy in my pocketbook. I don't want that negativity. I have given money back to people. True story. The guy was flabbergasted and didn't know what to say. Because when he tried to pay me, I said, no, thank you. I don't need your energy in my life. So have a nice one. You don't have to be ugly about it. Just be firm. 9, cards. Yeah, this is your tarot deck, but this is also business cards. Now, don't freak out. You do not have to have a fancy dancy, woohoo business card. I'm lucky. I finally do. I had a really dear friend design one. She designed a beautiful, beautiful card for me. And I now have the wrong phone number on it, so I learned a lesson there. Put your name. If you got a business name, put that on there, and email. All you need is that, and if you have a website, put that up. You just need them to be able to contact you. That's all you need. You don't have to have fancy moon and wolf pictures. You don't have to have a, you know, cursive font. Just your name and your email is plenty. You know, and you don't need a fancy business name. Tarot by Arwen, Tarot by Anna, Tarot by Joe. It's okay to be very plain and very simple in these. The other piece of cards, and this is the 9, we're still in the 9. I group these together. And this is personal, painful experience. Don't take a deck that you would be very sad if you lost it. Yeah. I have a rule now, no drinks on my table. You never know who's going to bump into your table. You may flip your hand and knock something over. And liquid, as we all know, is not a friend of paper. So, yeah, don't. I typically take 3 decks and I'll put them out in bags and I'll have people pick them by the bag. Just it's kind of a little buy-in for them, right? Ooh, it's psychic. But it actually gives me kind of an insight to the one of the decks they choose. So, and I take fun decks. I don't take ooky spooky scary decks unless I'm doing an ooky spooky gig. I did one for CW's TV show Salem, and we had to, I mean, they made us up like Haggerty old crones. It was awesome. So I took a spooky deck. I'm like, so it was a lot of fun. But I play characters when I go if they want me to. I'm very open to doing that. Yeah, this is Madame Zaina. I can tell your future. Silly stuff, and people know you're being silly. They know you're goofing around. So it's kind of relaxes them. They're like, oh, okay, this is fun. Now, the 10th thing is something that happens after the festival. After the festival, say 3 to 5 days, somewhere in that, shoot them an email. Just gather up everybody and shoot them an email. BCC them. Please do not carbon copy all the emails into one, because then everybody sees everybody's emails and you've busted privacy. Pet peeve. Or you can send individual emails if and just tell them. And if you have a newsletter, do not add them to your newsletter unless you have on your sign up sheet, add to newsletter, check yes. Then you can. But still send an email to everybody that you did a reading for, and hopefully this will be a lot, that says something like, hi, you got a reading at the blank fair or the gig or whatever. I wanted to say thank you for letting me read for you. Have an awesome day. That's it. You're not trying to sell them anything. You're not trying to get them to sign up to your newsletter, nothing. You're just saying, hi, thank you. And it's basically that job etiquette. You go on an interview, you send a thank you note, whether you get the job or not. And this is a way for people to trigger their memory, and they're going, oh, yeah, that's that redhead that read for me, and I really enjoyed that. That might be fun to book for a birthday party. Okay, things like that. But these are my 10 tips on how to be a professional reader, how to survive festival readings, and how to have a good time with it. So, hydrate, eat, rest, gather, spread, inform, firm, fun, cards, and follow up. 10 things, and I did this in an email for Winter Night Raven. Oh my gosh, Winter, I forgot your last name. I'm sorry, girl. But she was going to be doing a street festival, and we talked about it in one of my live videos. And so I sent her an email about what she could, how she could survive it. I also recommend having a kit together. Put together a pretty table, like have a pretty cloth, put some pretty stones out. Have a pretty little thing for your business cards. Make it approachable, you know? And when people walk by and they just glance at you, say, hi, have fun at the festival. Talk to them, interact. Don't do this. Yeah. It's not, you need to engage people, right? You could have your business cards. Here's another idea for business cards if you don't want to spend the money on getting business cards. Get a deck of tarot cards it's either not full or you bought it at a garage sale, whatever. One that you don't care about keeping. And get magazine labels and put your name and address on the back. Put your, Tarot by Arwen, readings at Tarot by Arwen. Slap it on the back of these cards. And then put the cards in a bowl. People can come by and draw a card. You can give them a down and dirty interpretation again. Oh, look, you got the Magician. That's the I Will card. You're going to make magic today. Have a great one. They're going to keep the card and they're going to have your name. So, and it's a very effective marketing tool. People like that little instant interaction kind of thing. Do have a tip jar. Okay, do have a tip jar. Even if you're doing this for free, put a tip jar out and just say, tips welcome. You can, if you are, one thing to do, and it's kind of gimmicky, but it's really also for the good, is to put tips welcome, 10% donated to, you know, Pause for Hope or what Hope for Pause, whatever, some charity that's local to you. Make sure it's a local charity because you want them to know their money's going back into their community. So I hope this helped you. If y'all have any questions for me, I'm trying to get back into informative videos. I've been doing a lot of interviews, which I adore, but I really want to do some more uh, responding to what you need kind of videos. So thanks very much for stopping by. I'm Arwen, the professional joy seeker. You can get a professional reading by going to tarotbyarwen.com and just click on work with Arwen. I've also got autographed books and decks available. So if you're into that, let's play. All right, y'all, pass it on.